In this video, I'm not only going to tell you how much faster the iPhone 12's 5G is compared to the previous iPhone's 4G LTE, but I'll also compare the iPhone 12's 4G because let's face it, not everybody has 5G just yet. And with that, I have some incredible results for you, including some hotspot tethering comparisons. I tested throughout the day and all over town to give you a real-world comparison both in spots with great reception and peak hours along with off hours, and also places that used to be dead zones for me, but thanks to the iPhone 12, they aren't anymore. With that said, the 5G that I'm going to show you guys is sub-6 5G because, well, that's the only one I have here in my town, and chances are if you have 5G, that's what you have too. Before we jump in, it is very important to note that both the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro have identical antennas, where last year the non-Pro had worse reception, and that the modems are also the same exact top-of-the-line Snapdragon X55, so Apple didn't cheap out on the 12 and 12 mini compared to the Pros. I started out early morning outside of my house before the networks were being hit, and my 11 Pro Max managed one of the best scores I've gotten there, 36 megabit per second download and 25 upload. Testing the iPhone 12 manually set to LTE only, I got 39 megabit per second download and 32 upload, so slightly better, but not by that much. Switching over to the slowest but the most common 5G, I got speeds of about 70 megabit per second and an upload of 28. That's about twice as fast compared to the iPhone 11's LTE, but what does this mean in the real world? Well, web pages do load quicker, and I can actually stream 4K video with these speeds instead of having occasional buffering even with 1080p video on the iPhone 11. I then headed to my church, which is the most frustrating area in terms of cell reception. With my iPhone 11 Pro, I only have service in a few spots, and in one of those spots, my speeds showed 6 megabit per second download and 0.37 megabit per second upload. This speed is frustrating. I can't stream any video, everything loads very slowly, and I even have issues sending not only photos, but even text and sometimes calls. Popping the same SIM into my iPhone 12, I went from 6 megabit per second download to 38.8, and for the upload from an unusable 0.37 to a slow but usable 2.2. And this is using the same exact 4G LTE network, not 5G. Switching 5G on resulted in an even faster 48 download and 4.3 upload. That is 8 times faster download speeds and 12 times faster upload speeds. And that means that I'm going from a frustrating experience to an actually decent one for everything including streaming video. The next place I tested was at my office, which is a concrete building next to a ton of other businesses that use the same network. My iPhone 11 Pro got a slow download speed of 20 megabit per second and upload of 11, while the iPhone 12's 4G LTE managed 32 download and 13 upload, which is noticeable but not a huge improvement. Switching to 5G resulted in a much faster 52 download and 23 upload, so more than twice as fast for upload and download. Now before I move on to another frustrating dead spot in my city, I want to pause for a second and share another test here at the office that might be very relevant to you, especially this time of year. When we first got in the iPhone 12s, we had a major snowstorm, and even though the 5G had lower bars, it wasn't really affected by the snow, even though the iPhone 11 was, getting 45 megabit per second download, where my 11 got an unusable 2 megabit per second. I then retested both using only LTE, and this time the 12 scored a faster but still fairly slow 4 megabit per second compared to 22 megabit per second. So how in the world is this possible if the iPhone 12 was actually showing lower bars? Well, as I mentioned at the start, Apple didn't cheap out, and it's using the very best Snapdragon X55 modem, which is what connects it to the towers. The older iPhones have been using Intel modems, which are much slower, even though it shows more bars of reception. In the afternoon, I tested another annoying dead spot on the way to my house, where even podcasts will stop playing as I drive by. I pulled over in the general area, and my 11 Pro got 10 megabit per second, the iPhone 12 using LTE got 12, so that's not really that much better there. And then I switched to 5G, and that resulted in almost 18 download, so it's not twice as fast, but it's getting there. Now, even though I was expecting more here, I do want to add that I've been driving by this part of town at least twice a day for about 2 weeks now, and not once has my podcast or streaming music buffered like it did with the 11, which is really nice. For the next test, I drove downtown in the evening during peak hours, and my iPhone 11 got a really fast 60 megabit per second with 6 upload, whereas the 12 got 70 download and a massive 55 upload this time. Switching on 5G resulted in 114 download and 90 megabit per second upload speeds. I have to say that I am glad that Apple added 5G to all of their new phones, even the iPhone 12 mini, because if they didn't go for 5G, then they would still be using Intel modems and we wouldn't be seeing these great speed improvements. And for the final test, before talking about tethering, I tested in the evening closer to a tower, and my iPhone 11 got a very fast 85 megabit per second download and 54 upload. Now this is the best I've ever gotten on my iPhone 11 Pro Max in my town, and these kind of speeds I was really thrilled with until I tested out the iPhone 12, that is. Testing standard LTE, it was about the same speed being outside and close to the tower, but switching on 5G resulted in a crazy 205 megabit per second download and 81 upload. Now keep in mind that this is the slowest 5G out of the 3 different kinds. If you have mid-band 5G in your city, you would be getting 400 to 600 megabit per second at this point, and with mmWave, it would be well over 1,000. Now thankfully, unlike many Androids, all iPhone 12 support every single kind of 5G, so once your city adds it, you will have full access. I also want to point out that some of you guys already have faster LTE speeds in your cities, and some of you might have slower ones. It really depends on your carrier and how many people are connected to that tower. If your iPhone 11 speeds are already better than mine, it just means that if you buy an iPhone 12, it will be even faster. Based on my tests, in many cases, much faster, even without 5G. And now, let's get to a test that really shocked me even more than the other ones, and that is tethering. Now, I often use Wi-Fi hotspots on my phone to share data with my MacBook, and unfortunately, it's really slow. Testing my iPhone 11 in the evening, I got a painful 3 megabit per second download and less than 1 upload, meaning that streaming video is only possible with really bad quality, and you can forget about uploading. Switching to the iPhone 12, I got 36 megabit per second download and 18 megabit per second upload, which is a massive difference and similar to the speeds that many people have with their regular Wi-Fi. With this speed, you can stream and you can even upload videos, and in general, it's a pretty decent experience. Overall, I have been absolutely thrilled with the cell reception of the iPhone 12, not only with 5G, but even just the regular 4G LTE. The max speeds are much faster, and in areas where I had little to no signal, I can now use my phone like I normally would. This alone makes my iPhone 12 a worthy upgrade from any previous iPhone, but of course there are much more differences. So if you guys want to see my full comparison or the 2 weeks later review, you can click right over there. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and if you enjoyed this video, why not subscribe by clicking that circle above. This has been Max, and I will see you in the next video.